Why is this a favorite spot of yours?
Well, Petrovka has always been part of our family, and I don't know if that's sort of led into it. But getting older, it seems like I've had more questions about life, about God, about just all of those kinds of things. And I love riding my bike, and that's one place I can clear my head. And by accident, I pulled up here one day, and it just clicked. This is the spot, and I come here for my own church. I've even skipped church on occasion and come here, and I get to clear my head and ask the questions. And Lauren Daigle, in that last song, the lies sometimes you say to yourself in your head.
Yeah.
That's where I sort some of those out with other songs, Keith Green songs, I'm Your Redeemer. So, long-winded answer for why this is my place.
Yeah. Awesome. You remember apparently the bridge being opened up here?
I do. That kind of dates me. So, yeah, I do. We went here as a class, grade 10. I really don't remember that, but yeah. Planes flew over and there were speeches and
Not
stuff.
the snowbirds? No.
You know what? I don't think the snowbirds. It might have been the biplanes. I'm not sure. But yeah, I remember the opening. We went here as a class day. Yeah,
Wow.
I do. So, and the ferry used to be here.
Yeah.
As a kid, we'd go to Redberry, and my parents would take the ferry.
Wow.
So it's always kind of been in my world.
Yeah, on the radar. Yeah. Fantastic. Tell me about a favorite summer meal in your backyard.
Well, a summer meal in my backyard. Well, I have a beautiful barbecue, Ryder barbecue. I don't barbecue. It looks good there. I like hot dogs.
Yeah.
And beans.
Nice.
And you can't do better than that. That's just, it kind of, and Joy would probably agree with you on that one. So that, and having the fire going there, that's perfect. It's simple, and I like it.
Awesome.
So
That's you. Perfect. Let's go back to question 1. You introduce yourself, tell us a little about yourself, how long you've lived in Hepburn, what you did for work, stuff like that.
Oh, wow. I grew up on a farm just east of Hildebrand, so I'm a farm kid. I licked the salt blocks and drank water out of the cattle trough, and hence my immunity is really good right now. So a farm boy, went to school here, graduated, dabbled at Bethany, didn't do well. I was not ready or equipped at the time to really put any serious effort into it.
Right.
And and left. I went to Vancouver a few times, and Winnipeg, and lived in Saskatoon. And I guess all of those times just sort of scarred me a little more, helped me grow up. Finally, I got my head together, and I went to Providence and took education there.
Okay.
So, and also that's where I met Joy in Winnipeg. So it was a good thing to finally get out of Saskatchewan. I've lived here since 1981. We moved back here, and so how many years is that? That's a long time. And we specifically wanted to come back to a small town for our kids' sake. Back to the 12 years we were gone, Joy and I went to Pakistan for 3 years, and we worked in the high school boys section, house parents, counselors, whatever you want to call it, and 1 year of administration. And that's where I realized I wanted to work with people in some capacity. And we brought a great souvenir back. Our first daughter was born there, so
Fantastic.
living souvenir, Jody.
Absolutely. Your family, 2 daughters, that's right?
2 girls, Jody and Tanya. Jody and her husband Tim live in Saskatoon. 3 grandkids there. Oldest one is a teenager now. And Tanya and Danny, first house when you drive into Hepburn. She's a teacher. He has his own construction business. And 2 more grandkids. And we love them. It's one thing about being retired. But to spend time with your grandkids. And so, yeah, it's a good chapter. We're enjoying this chapter since I retired. By the way, I worked in the jail for 35 years in Saskatoon. And it was the perfect job for someone who doesn't want to be behind a desk all the time. And likes sports, so it was great. I got to do classroom stuff with new recruits, history of corrections, all those kinds of things. And I also got myself to dance instructor, so it was great to roll in the mats with those people. But one of my favorite things I did at corrections is towards the last few years with new recruits, they asked me if I'd be their mentor. And that meant a lot to me. I just loved interacting with them. I had no real schedule. It was up to me. And so corrections was good to me.
Tell us a bit about this last year. It's been a hard one for many people. What kind of changes and challenges did last year bring for you?
Well, because we're retired, it didn't affect us the same way. Like, I felt really sorry for all the mom and pop kind of shops that paid a bit of a price. I suppose in the light of that, our price wasn't big. We couldn't hug our grandkids. We couldn't go to their hockey games or, all the type of things that you want to do. So it didn't affect us in that way a great deal. Just we had unique Christmases around a fire in the backyard, and it was kind of fun. And another good thing that happened during these COVID times is we got another granddaughter during that time. So that's the awesome side of it. And there's all kinds of controversy with COVID. I don't want to talk about it, but for us overall, it was just another time to go with the flow and trust God, quite frankly. And I can't say I had any fear. I think I can thank God for that. There wasn't any fear of what could happen. We just played by the rules, and we're quite content with that.
My third question, you pretty much answered already, but anything you want to say in terms of how does knowing and following Jesus make a difference in your day-to-day life?
I'm not sure what others think. For me, that was a tough question, because in the years I went to work in prison, and a lot of people have misconceptions about prison, but it helped me see the good in people, as weird as that sounds. God loved those guys just like they loved me. And I certainly didn't agree with everything they did, and sometimes I had to intervene in different ways. And but I kept thinking back to Saul/Paul, murderer who ended up doing a lot of good things, and we can read an awful lot about him. So I often thought about that. Was I the perfect person there? No, I made some mistakes, but that was a big one. The other things in the day-to-day life, whether it's in my spot here or with family and stuff, I'm pretty human. I've made more than my share of mistakes all across the board. And to know that God loved David as much as he says he did, in spite of the fact that he was a big screw up, excuse the language, but he made a lot of mistakes. But he always wanted to do better. And that gives me hope. And it takes fear away from different things that have happened in my life. Referring back to your question, another change, maybe it's my Achilles heel. I like to be, when I was working in the prison and doing emergency response team stuff, I had to be in shape. I had to meet standards. And in training, I had to be in standards. Suddenly my health was gone, and I needed a pacemaker. And tough pill to swallow, because I wasn't in control. But God took that fear away from me. And I'm perfectly content. So now I take Nickelback, of all people, one of their songs. If this was your last day, what would you do? Read the words sometimes. It's pretty cool. And I say it today, not tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you, Wayne, for taking the time to show us your place and to share with us.
This is a great place, and I'll keep coming here. So you can share it with me, you guys.
Awesome.